Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, get ready. Boys and girls from children of all ages, we're here to start the show. Weebs of the Ring podcast, season 1, episode 25 is draft season, take 2. Tonight, we have the night 2 of the WWE, not the NFL draft, our truth, not the wrong one. Sorry, you're not going to play football this time. You're not going to the big leagues, but we are you going to be. We saw the end of the results of Monday night 2 draft of Raw and Smackdown. We have some interesting picks that we're going to break down and discuss. We have Logan Paul with the Judgment Day. Interesting qualities to see what that's going to end up with and continue on in the future with the Judgment Day versus the Yeet, Ricochet, and Andrade. Becky Lynch promo segment. Nia Jax versus Liv Morgan. And the chase around the stadium of Drew McIntyre with our boy CM Punk and making Drew look like a laughingstock. But man, he signed a new contract, so very happy to see him. We're going to discuss about that. The Alpha Academy gets an LW, maybe? It depends on the perspective. The coach and Sami Zayn with the Bronson read. We have the meaty of the meats of the matches. And we have the Maxinne doing the best she can, doing the best what she's best for, known for is without giving up. And the World Tag Team match. And the Xavier Woods counting out. And he had to pin out for Gunther doing the most hurtful STFU. Because tonight is going to be the night to shut the fuck up for all the fans online on the social media. Because who knows, Vash will be on another rant. Let's see. Let's find out. Without further ado, let's get to the effing show.
Yes, with anime in their souls and thoughts of wrestling out of control. We are a trio of weebs who love the entertainment of professional wrestling. Allow us to be the voices inside of your head. As we go through the wrestling event of the evening, give our thoughts and predictions on what's to come, and provide an experience inclusive to all nerds. Grab your steel chair, yell for the table, and get put through an experience like none other. Brought to you by AniMa W3 Studio. This is the Weebs of the Ring podcast. And tonight, our lovely trio of co-host panelists are here to talk to you about the Monday Night Raw, about the second night of the draft. But of course, he's not finished with you yet. It's Watkins here. There's nothing El Generico about him, because we've got Legend D Vash. And of course, we gotta always yell for Devon to drop this box.
Yeet!
Yeet, yeet, yeet all around. Chat, hopefully you guys are doing awesome tonight. I know I'm doing pretty good on this Monday, almost Tuesday evening.
Well, Tuesday, like the next 30 seconds for us East Coast people.
Yeah. If you're on the West Coast, lucky you.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, we had...
It's the Monday before Backlash. For a friendly reminder for our fans around the world that Backlash is this Saturday at 1 p.m. EST. Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty exciting. We have an international show for a while. It's been a while, so that's exciting. And
it has been a whole 2 months.
And there's a kickoff as well on Friday at 1 p.m. EST.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's going to be the press conference, if I had to take a guess.
Yeah.
So that's going to be exciting to watch, because, hey, who knows what can happen on those? I mean, we've seen the WrestleMania ones, and even, like, the Elimination Chamber ones when they were in Australia. Like, WWE's been going all out with, like, these press conferences and all that. So, hopefully we get some good news coming out from our France one on Friday. And, of course, we have Smackdown, which I believe is going to be pre-taped anyways. So, be careful spoilers for that.
It's going to be interesting to see how the crowd of France will be for SmackDown show and for a pay-per-view. So that's going to be interesting as well.
It's probably going to be loud, because those international shows, since they don't normally get events like this all the time, they're probably going to be loud, because that's how it normally is whenever they go international. The crowd's just always better over there compared to ours.
Yeah. and I know France also loves them some Baron Corbin. So I'm hoping he makes an appearance on Friday just so he can get a good pop.
Oh yeah,
Really,
that's true.
I was unaware of that he was
Yeah,
loved by the international fans.
yeah, I know what he's
Oh yeah.
referring to because I remember when he went to a house show before France was all over Baron Corbin.
Oh wow,
Oh
that's
yeah.
amazing! I love to hear that. That's good.
Yeah. So they're the bizarro world for people like Baron Corbin. But yeah, so we've had the second night of the draft, kind of the biggest story kind of coming from tonight. And so yeah, let's just kind of go through our picks really quick and we'll just kind of talk about how the draft overall has gone. So on Monday nights, we now have the following people drafted to Monday. We have Gunther and Kaiser of Imperium. No more Vinci. He's gone, whatever. We got Damage Control coming on to Raw. We got CM Punk, Braun Strowman, LWO finally breaking away from Legato.
And with Carlitos,
Thank you. And with Carlito. I love how they had to mention that too. We got the Drew McIntyre. We got Judgment Day. We got Ilya flippin' Dragunov on the same brand as Gunther, which we'll get into that little guy. New Day staying on Raw. We got Lyra Valkyria moving up. We got the Final Testament. We got Bronson Reed, and we've got Dijak. That's our Raw roster, and guys, this roster is stacked.
out of
Like,
out of this Raw picks, I'm truly surprised from the live at Valkyria. Not saying that she don't deserve it. I didn't expect her to be called up this soon, or in this draft segment. I thought it was gonna be like Roxanne Perez or other superstars, but for live Valkyria, that means Triple H has been interested in her with what Shawn Michaels has done with the roster so far, so that's really good to see. I agree 100% with what Watkins said already. LWO got away. We are going to talk about the SmackDown, but Legado on the Fantasma stayed in SmackDown, so I'm happy that the LWO get to build a new story. And like me and Watkins laugh about, hopefully they take some W. Like, please give them some wins. They deserve it. Hopefully they get that, nice sunlight. And just can't wait for us to talk about later. Braun Strowman fucking came back. And please, what are these WWE superstars doing when they get off for a hiatus of 8-10 months? They come back an extra bulk of weight, of muscle mass. Because Braun Strowman should look extra chunky or bigger of meat.
yeah, I think it was doing a lot more of like his powerlifting. Because I think, and Drop, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this. He's done a few like strongman competitions in the past.
Yeah, he has. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think it was just kind of getting back into the powerlifting game with that. But all right, well, Drop, what are you thinking of this pretty meaty Monday Night roster we got now?
I honestly, like you guys said already, the roster's stacked, and one of the things that the three of us were hoping for was to get a stacked women's division, because Raw definitely needed it compared to SmackDown that had a lot of big names over there, and they definitely got that. Lyra Valkyria is going to be a future star in the company. I just want to give some praise for her. Becky put her over for a reason, because they see a lot in her, and I'm just really excited to see her main roster run. And just look at the people that I'm about to say right now. Gunther, Ilya, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, Bronson Reed, Dijak. Just imagine all of those banger matches with those people. It's just crazy to think that we're getting this level of entertainment on the main roster this time. So it's pretty stacked, and I'm really satisfied with how the draft turned out. Yes, some people stayed on the shows, but it made sense due to certain storylines that they had. That's why it wasn't that much of a surprise with me. Like, you had certain people stay. I mean, why would you separate CM Punk and Drew if they have an ongoing storyline of each other? Wouldn't really make sense. Plus, since Cody's on SmackDown, you need Punk on Raw. So it makes sense with the moves they made.
I do want to add one more, that I love how Asia Dragunov was added as well Drop brings up a good point. Is like just to see this great superstars, even Dijak as well. That's a great inclusion in that roster. Like, sadly with Dijak, he was not announced on air because it sucks that he didn't get the pop from the fans and everything. Because I would have loved to have seen that. But the Mad Dragon, like Booker T, like a few others that night said it, that if you don't know him, you will find out who this man is.
Mm-hmm.
I still haven't seen the match. My team continues telling me the Gunther and Angel Dragon match of the 45-minute definitely will one day go check it out. But I keep hearing that match has been phenomenal, good to watch. So with them coming out, hopefully another round of that in the coming future, because we have the King of the Ring coming soon, so we have some options already.
Oh yes, that we do. And I think the only other thing I want to say about the Monday Night roster now is I'm glad that some of the talents that we have like going in, like some of these like workhorses that we have, some of these guys and girls that are like their styles are very hard, but they're also like very athletic and very like engaging with the audience. I'm glad those talents are going to be on the 3-hour show compared to the 2-hour show, because now they can cook a little bit with Raw and all that. Because like I'm starting to see now like SmackDown's gonna, and as we'll see with like some of the names that are on here, SmackDown's gonna be, I think, more of the entertainment part of anything. It's going to be like the ones that are like the bigger names, the spotlight ones, the ones that'll, I don't want to necessarily say sell the seats, but like that's going to be like the company show, if that makes sense. Whereas like Raw is going to end up being like the workhorse show.
I see that vision. Like it shows what you mean. Like it's a dragging off where, like, for example, we had a match tonight of Xavier Woods with Gunther that it felt like it was a good 30-40 minute match with all the commercials at the fucking show and still no fucking the picture. It's like, yo, Raw, you're gonna blue balls us that one time after Mania and then never do it once again? It's like, god damn it. I'm so mad about that. Like, yeah. So
I'm starting to think probably during Netflix that's probably going to be a thing where you see the whole match.
It better be, because yo, that match with Xavier Woods of Gunther was so good. I can't wait for us to talk about that. That match was so good. But which with what Watkins said, I see the vision with what they're setting up with Raw being the wrestling show with the workhorse players of the superstars, our wrestlers. SmackDown being more of the name show, but also still having fights and still having the segments. But the segments will have to be shorter since there is a 2-hour show and with commercials. So you have to be more concrete of who is your superstars you want to show in this 2-hour segment. And the 3-hour one, you have to have a strong workhorse, type of faction team, your players.
Yeah,
especially with the people they brought too. Like, I can only imagine how this is going to look like 6 to 7 months from now.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. Like, just a month from now. Like, what we could be getting from all this. So I'm excited for that.
Monday after Backlash.
Yeah.
Where
like,
first starts
exactly.
May 6th.
Feuds, yeah.
Because we still got to get through
that don't need to be broken.
Yeah. Yep.
Definitely.
Look, their contract apparently runs out at the end of the year.
Oh, really?
So hopefully, and apparently WWE knows. Like there were a few reports today coming out being like, oh yeah, WWE knows about the reception of Def Rebel. Don't worry. And it's just like, okay, good. Can't wait for that future endeavor tweet. Because, man, I want it. I need it. I need them out of here.
And then Triple H at the finger point with the new composers.
Oh, I need it. Just like, yeah, we brought CFO $sign back or whatever it was.
Like, don't get me wrong. They've had, like, a few bangers, but it's, like, really rare. Because most of the songs that they come out with, and this is just the topic of the conversation due to how we want these superstars to be treated on the main roster. Because, like I said, if it's not broken, there's no reason to just fuck around with it and change it into something else. Like Tiffany's theme song, for example, is completely fine. There was no reason to do that. But getting back to my point, just so we can move on, most of their songs is just saying the person's name and then they just come out. Like, I don't know if you guys ever saw that clip of like Seth watching the Royal Rumble. He didn't even know who was coming out half the time.
Yep.
I didn't see that clip,
He had to,
but
like,
I did see like an IG clip or reel of today, which is funny how you bring this topic about how this person was making a joke about the Superstars theme song, how each person is just kind of like announcing their name, with Naomi Glow, it's just her saying her name so slow, and and with Tiffany Stratton, it's saying it's Tiffy time, with all these other superstars. But then they've been doing this for 20 years ago already as well, with each superstar having like a word or catchphrase, or with Steve Austin, Glassbrick, we know that's him. With
So
Triple H saying, are you ready to play the game? That's his voice saying it. Like, all these superstars have their little one catchphrase, the first 10 seconds of their song. So I feel like that is part of who they are, or part of their story, if that makes sense.
So it's really not like that part that people really have an issue with, or at least from what I've seen. It's the fact that what comes afterwards is the lamest thing that you ever hear. It's like yeah, okay, let's imagine Steve Austin glass shatters and then you hear like polka music. It's like that drastic that people will hear, like you don't. Yeah. I mean, luckily, like, people like Randy Orton still have like a decent theme that like is catchy, and like you think about it, you're just like, oh yeah, I hear voices. And hell, I can even remember his old theme where it's just like, hey, let me hear you say, like that.
Burning My Light. Yep.
Yeah, Burning My Light. But like, if you ask me how, I can't even think of anybody off the top of my head. If you ask me how freaking, well, for some reason, Alpha Academy is in my head, but I actually know how that one goes. But
thank you.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like you don't really remember. None of the songs really stick out. You know.
For example, if you ask me what is Candice LeRae's song, I'm like, I don't know.
Dude, Candice LeRae's theme song sounds like some Elden Ring like OST.
Yeah.
Like fighting some boss under the ground. Or something like that. But it's like, going back to what you said, like, it's not really a big thing, like hearing the glass shatter, or if you smell stuff like that. It's not that. It's mainly just what Watkins said, because it's just like completely random, where it doesn't really fit the vibe of the character. Like, if they were to change Elias is like dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
It just fits the whole vibe.
They better not.
And it makes them feel like a final boss. Like, you're like at the final level of a video
they
game.
better not change
You got all your gear, you got your sword, you got your shield, you got all your stats maxed up, and you're about to beat the final boss of the video game. Ilya's theme song is practically a final boss, and that's literally who he is. He's just like Gunther, an unstoppable force.
I agree 100%. That's like him, and also my boy, the Shinsuke Nakamura. Even though he hasn't gotten a W in a while, his song as well. He comes out, you hear that song of his, it just comes out so well.
Oh yeah, that's just iconic.
Yeah. All right, but hey, as stacked as Raw is, SmackDown still, they came out pretty well in the draft. So, starting off with SmackDown's picks, we have Jade Cargill, we have KO, we have The Pride, which is, of course, Bobby Lashley, Street Profits, B-Fab. They're staying on SmackDown. We got Tiffy Time every single Friday at 8 p.m. EST. We got Legato away from LWO. Thank the Lord. We got Shinsuke Nakamura, as Vash said. We got Naomi. We got Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Pretty Deadly, Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. DIY on SmackDown now, so hopefully they can finally win some titles. And Blair Davenport gets moved up. Now, Blair's was kind of a shock one for me. I didn't think she would come up yet, or
that's a black sheep for me.
At least yet. So,
sure.
Yeah. But yeah,
I only thought she might get a call up just because she had a match of Soruka at Spring Breakin' last week.
And that was so good. That was a nice match.
So to me, that was kind of like her swan song after that, because I definitely feel like after that match, they're probably going to start building their next main eventers when it comes to the women's division, because now Lyra is up there on the main roster. So with Blair, I felt like, hey, give her a shot, see where she goes. Like I said with Kiana when we discussed it on Friday, I just don't want her getting lost in the shuffle because she has a lot of potential. She can be a top heel within that women's division because she has the attitude and she just plays the part so well. So I'm just hoping she gets treated well. That's just my main issue.
This is a perfect
when it comes to
opportunity
certain
for a
people,
mid-card title for that.
Yeah, exactly. Which
I
is
was
something
just thinking
they need to
that.
keep in mind. I mean, they already have the thought process of doing it on NXT. Why not do it on SmackDown too? Like maybe that we get that later this year. Hopefully, that'd be pretty nice. Because instead of having like all the girls going after the world title, you could have them going after another title. Just look at it with AEW, for example. They have the TBS championship?
Yeah.
For the girls. So just look at it like that. For example, you use that title to build up a mid-carder, and then when the mid-carder's ready, then they can go to the main division where all the top girls are fighting for the world championship. I just feel like if you structure it that way, it just makes a lot of sense.
I just hope they're not lazy on the title name, because I'm sorry, the mid-card title of NXT North America Women's Champion, to me, it was just lazy. Like, yeah, just could have like copy and paste. Like, I wish there was more inventive in the title side. I get it was easy. I get it. It was simple. Just keep like NXT Men's, NXT Women's, and NXT North American, NXT Women's North America. I felt like it was too copy and paste. But
I get that.
I agree that hopefully the mid card title is different. To continue,
just don't need any. Yeah, just hopefully the NXT call-ups just don't get lost in the shuffle. That's all.
I agree. Blair Davenport was a black sheep, like Walken said. To me, it's something I didn't expect as well. I'm pretty happy with what Pat McAfee said. He said, "Hey, what time is SmackDown time?" Michael Cole, it's Tiffy time.
No, 8 p.m. EST, you perv.
Oh my god, I just love the interaction. It's so organic. I just want to give a shout out to the commentary that people need to understand that if you're not live in the audience, but you're there just watching at home, the commentaries, the people that are on there on the mic, on the voice, also make the show. They're the ones also add the extra layer to the comedy, to the entertainment of the show. So I want to give a quick shout out to that. Adam Pierce, another big shout out to you, because he said, "Yo, Nick Aldis, thank you for taking care of Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Thank you for taking care of them from my hands, from my soul. Get them off my fucking table." That's how he was so happy. He was expressing his joy, like, bye, have them, Nick Aldis. I don't want them. So that was an interesting response.
He can finally stop drinking now.
One thing I do want to say, since we were all celebrating with LWO and Legato being away from each other, now we have Chelsea. Now we have Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell away from Maxine, so they can move on to something else. So that's another good thing to look at as well.
I agree.
We also got.
I was gonna bring up as well that with Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, with DIY makes sense because Candice is, is partnered up with Johnny Gargano, so it makes sense that the both of the teams move on, and it's gonna be interesting. Hopefully to see some magic. One magic I'm excited for is New Catch Republic versus DIY on SmackDown in the next coming weeks or months. That we'll get that. I know that's gonna make some beautiful magic. With Shinsuke Nakamura, that's one I'm shocked, but hopefully, in the name of God, we got almost a month of this. Please, Triple H, do not give us another of Cody Rhodes versus Nakamura again. Now that he has the title, we don't need this. We had that almost for a whole month in December. Please let the dog. I forgot the catchphrase went, but yes, just we don't need it.
Yeah, because you're pretty much beating a dead horse at that point.
Exactly.
Like,
that's what
honestly, just on the topic of Shinsuke, all I'm really wanting out of this is just a new beginning for him. Because I will be up front and I will be blunt about this. His talent is getting wasted because they're not really utilizing him that well right now. So I'm hoping his move to SmackDown is like a new beginning for him, so he could start over with his character and make Shinsuke a face.
Or maybe they go for the U.S. title.
Yeah, but it's like make
Yeah.
Shinsuke a face because he just fits so much more as a face. Everybody's singing his song. Nobody wants to boo him. And he just deserves to get that spotlight. I mean, he's one of those other people that I don't remember who I brought up last time I said this, but he's another person that could easily be a main event talent if treated correctly. And it's just a shame that we're not really seeing him utilized at that level, and I really wish he was.
They had the presentation there, like around the Royal Rumble when he was going up against Seth. Like the presentation's there. It's just like, you gotta keep going on with that.
Yeah.
Whoever was doing the animation for him as well was amazing. Like doing the graphics of him having the big body or showing the evil anime type of villain. I was loving that. I was like, yes, I don't know what the fuck it is you're doing, but give it to me. Like him just speaking to the screen and just moving his head side by side. I felt like I was the Cobra, like just copying him.
Yeah, because it makes sense for them to utilize his character like that, because obviously a lot of the casual fans aren't going to really know what he's saying. So including subtitles, like these little vignettes that they do backstage, really helps bring out that character. Because for us, we understand, but for the casual audience, they won't. So this helps them understand the character a lot more. That's why how I liked they did it with damage control as well, because that was very smart on their end.
Yeah. Plus with Nakamura, I mean, I feel like this kind of came out like a few years ago, but he had made mention that his time in WWE is basically like a vacation. Like, even though he puts on some pretty good matches, like compared to, I guess, some of the work he did in Japan, like this is just a cakewalk for him, and he's kind of fine with that a bit. So it's just like, okay, I respect that in a way. It's just, yeah, but like, give me a little more, buddy. I know you got a couple good bangers in for you.
Yeah.
Maybe actually have a match with AJ Styles again. That would be nice. I remember that Wrestle Kingdom. I remember that match. That's the match that made me fall for you two as talents. But that's neither here nor there. Some of the other picks in this. I mean, I know we didn't mention it before, but I am glad the Pride and the Final Testament are split. I know that feud didn't really get too old too quick, and they haven't, continued on after Mania, but I am glad, like, they're officially split. They won't have to worry about each other. Maybe now the Pride can start doing a little bit more.
Karrion Kross will attack again Rey Mysterio. It happened last year.
Good. Maybe actually have a good program with him.
Yeah, that's going to be... Yo, but question. Does anybody care again or forgot about the Pretty of the Deadly?
No.
I forgot about them because whenever they're like, oh, you're Pretty Deadly, transfers to SmackDown, I'm like, oh, I forgot there was a thing. I'm like, cool.
Now they exist.
Yeah, that's...
I mean, they play their roles, Yeah,
they know their role.
Yeah, and they shut their mouths.
Other than that, Jade Cargill, dope. KO, dope. Makes sense. Other than that, the people they have announced and the brought up so far makes sense.
Yeah. Yep. And, much like on Friday, if we get any news of other call-ups or draftees, because I don't think we got through the whole pool, so, if we see anything...
we still don't even know what's going on with NXT. Like, we don't even know who's getting sent down there. Maybe we'll find out tomorrow.
Maybe. I have no idea, but as that happens as we go on through the night, we'll update everybody when we see it and all that. So let's kind of move on, because Raw wasn't just all about the draft. Those are just 6 short little segments saying, hey, you're on this show. You're going to report on Friday nights at 2 p.m. sharp. If not, you're fired. Now, we got some weekly shows we got to talk about. We got some weekly stories to go through. A lot of things kind of happen. A lot of small story progressions throughout some of these stories, and because again, we're in for some of these in the long haul, and so let's kind of start and end our night with this kind of Logan Paul Judgment Day light. What do you? Why am I words English? I know words good. They had a light partnership for the evening where Logan, he's cool with them. He shows up to the stadium with IShowSpeed and Patrick Mahomes for some reason. I mean, I get it, they're in Kansas City, but yeah, Judgment Day's there. They kind of have little talk back and forth, and we're kind of setting up. Do what?
The car, smooth as ride.
Oh yeah.
The car. I don't know what model or brand. I couldn't catch it. My knowledge of current cars right now is a bit outdated, but a car, the way Logan came out, I'm like, damn, that's a smooth ass ride. That's just smooth. We open the wheel and everything, the door, sleek.
Oh yeah. But yeah, apparently Logan Paul and IShowSpeed announced the second round drafts and all that, but they're not done with that. They have to talk some smack, as Jey Uso talking smack in the back saying, hey, we signed the wrong Paul brother. We should have gotten the one with the winning record, which that kind of got a pop out of me. I don't know about y'all with that one. That kind of popped me a bit.
I have no prior experience with that, but when Jay talking shit, he knows what he's saying. He's funny to me. I don't care what people say online. The Judgment Day deal with Logan Paul in the beginning was interesting. I didn't expect Judgment Day, Damian Priest to come in and welcome another champion, but makes sense. Damian Priest wants to be the champion, so he wants to look like, hey, he's bringing the SmackDown champion. He wants to welcome in, so that's pretty interesting as well. But other than that, from the beginning, the Mahomes stuff, the football stuff to me just went over my head. The Paul brothers giving more W went over my head. I have no prior experience on that.
Oh, okay. Well, all I know is Patrick Mahomes has now entered the list with the same list that the Philadelphia Eagles are in, where, hey, why are you in my wrestling? Why are you messing with my wrestling? He's no yeet. Mahomes is no yeet.
He didn't hesitate to give the 3 rings to Logan. He didn't hesitate. I'm like, bro, that is your ring. That's your property. That's literally your money banger. That's literally your residuals. Why are you giving that to Logan? He's about to use that. Those have to be fake copies, because those has to be like some fake copies for sure for it to be used.
They had to be, like, because there's no way Logan would have. Well, I'd have to look at the screenshot again from it, but yeah. So basically, Logan calls out Jey Uso. They has a fight because, hey, Judgment Day are coming out. They want to beat him down a little bit before the 6-man tag later. And yeah, Patrick Mahomes turns heel on everybody because I guess he doesn't like yeeting. I don't know. I guess he sympathizes with Jimmy. I don't know. But this
and Logan loves to torture Samantha.
He does. Like, I'm surprised she even complied with this.
Yeah, she like, yes, Samantha, you have to announce Mahomes. I was like, why? Why? Just because you said it? And Samantha did it, which, proud to her work. Girl does always an amazing job. I would always love to give her flowers. She does an amazing job. Ricochet, we would still love to have you guys here as an interview. We'd love to discuss the journey. Aside from that, Logan, why do you always like to torture her, man? You always just love to put the little nice needle in the haystack.
Yeah, I'm starting to think he only does it just to get under Ricochet's skin. That's my only thought, because he beat Ricochet at SummerSlam last year. So I think that's the only reason why he's doing it.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna ask her to announce him again, and I was like, "Oh, come on, Logan! Haven't we gotten past this already?"
Yeah, exactly.
Same.
Yeah. Oh man, but hey, luckily Jay has some friends with a freshly back from the what do I say, the meat grinder, I guess, maybe.
He's done
Braun
so many
Strowman's
side quests throughout the nice 8-10 months that he's been out of action. If people
Yeah.
don't follow him on IG, there's been a whole side quest traveling, getting a whole deer behind his truck and everything, cooking and everything. People need to follow these damn wrestlers and superstars on their social media. It's hilarious what type of side quests these people been doing while they're off the grid. And this man coming back like an extra tanning of layer of muscle meat on his man, wearing a tank top, and he's just looking mighty meat. I'm like, God damn, Braun Strowman, where did you go? Like, you, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, like, all these superstars just come extra jack. Except Sheamus, but man, you're still looking good, my guy.
Yeah. I think my theory with that, though, is because a lot of them are coming back from injury and surgery and all that. Like, a lot of the times when you're coming back from, surgery from an injury like that, part of your treatment is taking steroids to kind of, help your body heal faster and stronger and all that. So a lot of that bulk kind of comes from that. Because at least I've noticed this a little bit, Randy's kind of like slimmed down a little bit since coming back.
I've noticed that, but not too much. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, it's not a lot. It's just like a little bit that he slimmed a bit.
But I love that Braun Strowman came back. He came in and do what he did, and it was really nice to see Braun Strowman also, see eye to Mahomes. Him looking strong. Logan running away, and Braun Strowman is to Raw. Like, just to see that interaction and to see that Jay is not alone. Like, Braun Strowman is willing to help him out. So I love to see that type of chemistry. Even Braun Strowman was being there, locking eye on Mahomes, and Jay was like, bro, come on. It's not worth it. Come on. Let's get out of here. And, like, and Mahomes just getting his extra team members just looking all strong, like, trying to beat. I'm like, bro. They will kick your ass.
It's an interesting duo, I'll say that. Like, I never would have imagined in a million years that I would see Jay and Braun team up.
Right?
I miss Braun Strowman and Ricochet, but if we get a little fun, little random tag team of Jay and Braun Strowman, I don't mind. But I did like Ricochet and Braun Strowman back in the day.
Oh, that's another one to think about. Braun against like Ilya and all these other guys.
Oh, Braun and Gunther. That would be nice. Or Braun and Sheamus. Oh,
Braun and Braun.
Exactly.
Braun and Braun.
You see the vision. You see the vision. I know, dude.
They're definitely gonna do that.
I can't wait for that spear. That spear. I need him to go like back and forth the ropes like 20 times before hitting Braun with a spear.
Yo, imagine Braun breaking with a spear and Braun Strowman going around the ring and they just clash.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, give me the money. Give it to me.
And since we're just on the topic of like Braun, like, I know you guys already said your piece, but I also want to say it as well.
Of course.
I just want to say I just wanted to chime in and say that as well. Love that he's back.
Man, it's exciting. I just can't wait to see what happens. It was interesting with Logan just announcing. Actual Speed being part of that was shocking. Like,
I do know why.
I do say this.
Logan recently signed him to be a part of Prime.
Exactly, but also I love that this is a businessman move. With also Mahomes wearing the Prime ring as well. So it was interesting, like, yes, Prime is an idea of what Logan is, and it's a contract deal with WWE. But also Triple H getting the young audience with actual speed. Like, this guy is just 19 years old doing what he's doing in the internet and everything. And he's getting
has like 24 million subscribers.
Look at that.
That's actually really. It's honestly a smart move to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like me, I see this as a businessman. Like, seeing what Triple H and Logan Paul is presenting to the audience, actual speed, him trying to be funny, him getting the crowd, him getting that little small pop. That's a smart business move. So I'm saying he good. Like, he aced that little trial, did what he did. Triple H like what he did back in WrestleMania. He's like, all right, cool. Your peeps are doing what they're doing. They're bringing a bit more revenue. And also, those little small reels will go on Logan's all social media or on Actual Speed podcast, whatever it be, it adds more fans, it adds more people curiosity. It go on a domino effect. So as a businessman, I just want to give the quick shout out to that to anybody that cares about the behind the scenes on this type of with the direction. And also, I don't want to give an F anybody online that says why are these people there from YouTube and everything. Bro, we used to have politicians back in WWE. We had our fucking old ass president back in the day there, and nobody better than I.
We had the Muppets.
Look,
we had
hold on.
Kermit
That
and
too.
Miss Piggy there.
Look. The Muppets. I want the Muppets to come back. I'm not gonna lie. I would love another
seen the
Muppets
Muppets
Raw
in
episode. Oh no! You can't give me the image in my head of Ilya Dragunov
Imagine
just going
Ilya
up to Oscar the
Dragunov and
Grouch.
Animal.
Oh
and
wait,
Ilya.
no, that's
Yeah.
even better.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I like that. Oh man, but you know what? As fun as Braun coming back during the segment was, I don't think that's the main talking point from this. Because yeah, we had mentioned Logan Paul getting those Super Bowl rings, but was he able to punch Jay in the face? Was he able to end the yeet once and for all?
He totally missed.
Instead,
Man.
he hits JD in his big old forehead, and the scene that pops up afterwards, the most cartoony thing you can think of, just like Logan Paul and Finn looking just
Like
shocked.
dumbfounded.
Yeah,
what the fuck
like,
just happened?
what?
And Jay
Then
just walking
Jay-
slowly in.
like, damn man, you see that shit?
Like, what happened? How do we get that scene reminded me of Bugs Bunny doing something against Daffy Duck, and Daffy not know what happened, and Bugs Bunny trying to act like the stupid one, like, yo, how did we get here? Daffy like, I don't know. I'm like, word? Me too. When Bugs Bunny's the one that did the shit. It doesn't funny that I was giving that Jay reaction like, damn, how did I get there? Like, bro, if you didn't move your head, that would be you. But you're the one that's just doing the bullshit.
Oh, I loved it. Just pure comedy gold. And man, it makes me sad that Jay's probably not going to win the world title on Saturday. But it's fine.
But
he'll
he
get
is
his
main
singles
event
title
Jay
soon.
Uso. That's why he's main eventing Raw 2 weeks in a row and everything. He's doing what he's doing. Just because he's not in the title picture winning, he's still in the main event roster. Yeah.
Exactly. Because that main event tonight was the Judgment Day versus
Segways.
Jey
Woo-hoo.
Uso. We had Ricochet and Andrade teaming up against the Judgment Day again. And quick little thing before we got into the match, Dom was backstage and they were hanging out in their clubhouse because that's just so cool to call it the clubhouse, but I digress. Dominic was kind of saying that he was surprised that Judgment Day was in the 4th round of the draft, and Damian Priest is just like, no, that makes sense because you guys are bozos and you guys keep failing, and I love, again, it's just the timing with everything, how JD turns around and Priest is just like, ugh. But it seems like we're telling this story of Priest not needing the Judgment Day, and it's just we're adding more and more wrinkles to all of that, especially from this match, which, I mean, I wrote it in here in our notes that, I mean, basically a standard 6-man tag match. If you've seen him in WWE,
Well,
you've seen this one. But the
Before we
biggest
get to the
takeaway
match-
with this, yeah,
because I do want to add 2 things that happen when it comes to the segments before the main event of the match. Because if anybody saw that Dominic was walking around the stadium as well, just following somebody as well. So that's pretty interesting. He was roaming around behind a certain person on the Revenge Tour. So is he either finding a new mommy or just maybe trying to find out, hey, why you hurt my mommy? Who knows?
Yeah, and it all just kind of ties into this big miscommunication that Judgment Day are having. Dom's running around trying to find a new mommy, and then Priest is trying to keep everybody together while JD, for some reason, is pushing Jay off the top rope. I don't know, like
And also, Finn stayed
what?
quiet. Finn stayed quiet
Yeah.
when Damien said that you bozos all deserve that, and Finn was just like staring at Damien and just like,
Yeah.
and he's just like noticing these stuff. I'm just waiting for Finn to talk because Finn don't usually stay quiet unless it's for a reason. Because I remember last time when Finn exploded when it came to the segment back last year summer when it was Finn versus Seth, and when Finn didn't like when the Judgment Day was involved. This reminds me of this. So I'm really curious to see what's going to be flipped and turned on for next week or the next coming weeks with Finn turning on Damien, or the explosion with Finn coming out to the ring and calling out Damien himself. So I feel like that's going to be his next opponent. What you think, Drop? Am I spitballing or am I crazy?
No, you're definitely on a roll. I will say that you are definitely on a roll, because I can definitely see that happening just based on how everything is structured with the Judgment Day now. It's only a matter of time, especially if Rhea gone, that they're eventually going to go their own separate ways, because we already seen signs. I mean, we saw Dom hanging out with Legato and trying to introduce them to the Judgment Day. We see Priest just being a prick to them, trying to say, "Oh, you better get this done, otherwise I don't want to have to go out there and do it myself." So you already know that, like, slowly things are going to head in the opposite direction. And then when Rhea comes back, then that's where you're really gonna see how everything falls apart. But I feel like at this stage of the game, Rhea's already better off on her own. Priest is better off on his own. Finn is better off on his own. If Finn and JD want to do a thing together, that's fine. But it's only a matter of time before something happens. But I do like what Vash brought up when it came to Dominic and that Liv Morgan thing, because I saw other people bring it up as well, where we even noticed last week that Liv and Dom were staring at each other. And then we saw this week Liv was like walking down the hall, and then a little bit after you see Dom coming out, and it kind of reminded me of this famous CM Punk shirt that says "I dig crazy chicks." So I don't know if CM Punk is in Dom's ear trying to tell him these, maybe tell him about AJ, and then Dom got inspired and he wanted to go after Liv or something. But just looking at it, just looking at like how Liv is doing things, it's not just Liv taking out Rhea and wanting to go for the Women's World Championship. Like, she literally wants to take. Yeah, she wants to take. It's kind of like with Cody. Remember when Cody said, "Is me beating you for that title, or is it me taking everything away from you, Roman?" And you look at where Roman is right now.
Didn't Liv yell that to Rhea like not too long ago?
She said it back when she was being escorted out with the refs. She say, "I'm gonna take everything from you," blah blah blah. Like, I'm gonna scream to you and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. That's why I reminded me, because Cody said the same thing to Roman, and look what happened. And Liv said the same thing to Rhea. Look what happened. She took she took Rhea out. She's out for a couple months because of what Rhea did to her. Becky's the champion, and we know down the line, Liv more than likely is going to win that title, and then that's probably around the time where Rhea gets back, and then she's also probably going to take away Dom, because they wouldn't be showing stuff like this if it wasn't going to be added to the story later on. That's why I like those little segments that we have towards the like the back, where you just see like all these little things in the background, because some people were like, "Oh no, it's just there for
I love how
just for show."
No. People
need
to
actually
understand.
adds story.
Exactly. People understand that with Triple H, his current envision to the storytelling of wrestling is what Lucha Libre has always been about. That it's about the wrestling and it's about the story. That if it's not always 50-50, there will always be a portion to it. There's an 80-20. Some days there's some 70-30, some days it's 60-40, and some days it's 50-50. And this is what Triple H is going for, that if there is a segment in the back, if the camera's going to have a crowd, the interviewer and the interviewee they could also have something going in the background to continue other stories in the background. Where we sometimes, during the Survivor Series in November, we had Drew with Rhea Ripley back in the back talking. Everyone was like, what are those two talking about? Or what could it be? So like all those little things matters.
Yeah.
Yep.
And okay, maybe you guys can help me with this. Maybe you guys can help me. What was JD even thinking at the end of the match? Like, okay, so here's a setup for everybody. So Jey Uso's on the top rope. He's about to do whatever move, crossbody, who knows, whatever. Damian Priest walks over and like gets him in like the choke slam position, like he's gonna choke slam him from the top rope down below. Then JD out of nowhere comes up and pushes Jey Uso off.
But the point
And
that
I'm sitting there-
so I'm confused with that. Why would he
Yeah.
point at him? It's like tell him like go tag in him with him, and make sure that
Like,
you finish
what?
it off. I was confused as well. Like what was the message that got miscommunicated to actually work out?
Yeah, like I don't know. That's the one part that just kind of left me scratching my head. Like everything else afterwards, where Finn blind tagged and ended up eating the splash and all that. Like that's fine or whatever. That kind of in my mind makes sense with like the whole miscommunication and like everybody else kind of failing around Damian Priest succeeding. But it's like the JD thing just kind of made me go, wait, why? What? What's going on? You're kind of saving Jay here.
Yeah, I actually missed that, so it's a good thing you guys brought that up. But my only assumption when it comes to that is if things are being laid out like that for us, maybe that's giving us another reason as to why the Judgment Day's falling apart, where like they probably had a game plan jumping into the match, but maybe Finn and JD had a different game plan that they wanted to follow. So maybe that falls into what we see next week on Monday, because it's only a matter of time before like they all just step away from each other because Dom's too busy with Liv. JD and Finn seem like they're secretly plotting against Damian.
Yeah,
because Damian, when he came up, Finn took the pin. Damian was upset. He got up, saw Jay and Jay to lock eyes, while Jay was doing the one arm yeet, still locking eyes with Damian, and Finn was just in the bottom, just staring. So it's like it's a bit confused of how Finn feels toward this. Like we're leading up to an interesting dynamic how Finn is still locked in for Raw. It could be many routes that if things could have changed up, it could have led to like a reunited type of Bullet Club in the future, but not that Finn is staying. Finn could only be staying with with JD and Dom, or he could go his own. And it would be nice to see like the demonic Finn still come back. It would be nice as well.
The other thing that I also noticed is I kind of felt like it was a little weird how that tension between Damian and Finn just went away, because I remember last year they had a lot of tension with each other, and they kept like fighting every chance they got, especially like when Damian was trying to cash in his Money in the Bank, and then Finn came up and he's like, yeah, you're not doing this here, I'm sorry. Like I believe that was around the time when Finn was having his feud with Seth. So it's just kind of weird how that all went away. Like I don't know if like
it's definitely about to resurface.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like is that whole thought process going through Finn's head where it's like, yeah, I never forgot. Is that going to be brought up again? That's what I'm.
I'd have to go back, because maybe there's a point where we start. I'd have to go back, because like maybe Finn has been plotting this since then.
Yeah.
Because like remember, I'd have to go back to see like when they like kind of came back together and all that. Like yeah, there might be hints about him like planning something in the back.
I will hope so, because I remember seeing a clip of Finn betraying, I think, Johnny Gargano or Campy, I believe. I saw in NXT that Finn betrays them, and it was like a nice type of super kick in the back. So hopefully, if something like Finn also does that again and betrays, Damien like that, it would be nice to see that.
Yeah. But I mean, a lot of this match was just mainly to hype up the world title match between Damian Priest and Jey Uso, which should be a good match, should be a fun match. So, I mean, I'm kind of looking forward to it. I mean, spoiler alert for whatever we do our predictions, but I don't see Damian losing it anytime soon.
No.
So, and especially if another Fatu is coming up, yeah, let's keep screwing over Big Bro and all that. So, from one world champion to another, let's talk about our women's division world championship. Because we had Becky Lynch coming out, addressing the crowd about being the new world champion and all that. Apparently, this is the same building that the Man was created in, so that was cool to be reminded of. What's up?
What she's referring to is that Survivor Series, SmackDown versus Raw, where everybody invaded. Well, no, it was SmackDown that invaded, and that was when Nia busted open her face, and that's when Becky went viral, and she just got that star power that she has now. So that was a nice reference.
Yeah, because I didn't know this was the same building as that. So
yeah, me
that
either.
was.
But when she brought that up, I'm like, okay, I know what you're alluding to now.
Yeah, so that was cool to see. But I mean, she's basically just giving us the typical babyface promo and all that. Liv interrupting, being like, "Hey, you want a new contender? Here I am." And of course, the crowd's just chanting "Mommy," but they're also like, there wasn't as many boos as I thought Liv would be getting. Like there was.
And
when
also,
her music started,
I gotta give props to Liv. Her mic work is getting better. Like her emphasis on her delivery on her mic work is very well. Like I'm impressed. I'm happy in that department because I see a lot of people on the fucking online community always flame on her. It's like they're like a half. They love her, hate her type of relationship. So I don't understand it. But it's nice to see her work get improved. To see how she delivers. She takes the moment. She breaks. And it continues going, so I love that. This also happened, I think, not sure before or after, but I love it when Becky was talking to, I forgot who was it that approached her for a quick interview. Then Damage Control appear. I love how Io Sky and the Kabuki were just like nail tap on her champion, just walking away, just like, and the Becky like, don't touch my champion. Don't touch my champion. Yeah. Like her just like annoyed of it. Like just bitch, get away.
I like that because well, for one, I hope you're okay because there was like a little earthquake in your room.
Yeah, oh good.
Just joking. But I just like how there's more women, like I spoke about earlier on Raw now. So we have Kairi, Asuka, and Io, and Dakota Kai. So that's nice that they're away from Bayley and Bianca, so we can conclude that. But I'm just glad that there's more opportunities for the women there. Like maybe especially whenever they break apart. Like it's going to be really cool to see what sort of direction they go down. Maybe that was a little tease they gave us of Kairi and Becky down the line. That would actually be a pretty good match.
Yeah, that one would be hella fun to have. But yeah, I mean, those are all challenges that could be down the line. But what about now's challenges? Liv wants a challenge for Becky's title, but there's another runner up to the Battle Royal, and it's Nia Jax, and I want her to go. I'm tired of Nia.
She's going away. She's going to SmackDown.
Yeah,
that's not away. That's only the SmackDown.
Come on, no. I give props to Nia. Nia's doing so good in this second round. I cannot say nothing towards her first round. I cannot say nothing against that. I've seen the promos or the video package from the first round, but I cannot put no critiqueness. From her second round right now, I love her, how she's doing her current mic work, her current style, her hair, her current body language. She's giving so much me potential with the way the camera approaches her zoom in shot, and like her just looking like all deadbeat, and like she's giving so much mean potential, and I love that as well. Like she's just feeding to the crowd and just feeding to what she's doing. So with Nia Jax round 2 here, I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. Even Michael Cole has given her own flowers as well on on the commentary tonight, so that's really good to hear too.
Yeah, I personally don't mind her. Like, am I the biggest Nia Jax fan? No, because there's other people that I prefer more than her. But one thing I can do is I can acknowledge that she's definitely improved in her second round. Like, especially the match that she had on day one with Becky earlier in the year. That was a great match between the both of them. That's honestly probably the best match that we've seen since Nia returned, or just from Nia, period. When she had that match with Becky, because those girls like really came to work in that match, so I can definitely give her some credit for that.
Yes.
But I feel like
Putting
this
putting
match,
the nice air freshener on the turd. It's great.
but I just feel like
But
this match was mainly, as it was said in our notes, just a David and Goliath battle, and this was supposed to
Yep.
make Liv Morgan look strong heading into her feud at Becky Lynch, which I'm really curious to see when that's going to happen. Because I feel like if you're going to have that match, you have to have Liv win, only because of the story with Liv and Rhea after. Because if you want to lay out Liv's revenge tour, she's already going after Dom. She already took Rhea out, and if she wins that world title that Rhea once had, it just makes the perfect amount of sense. Once Rhea comes back, they're going to start butting heads right away. So I don't know if I want them to have this match right away. I don't know if it's going to be like that long build, or there might have maybe 2 or 3 more matches out of this if they add more layers to the story.
Hopefully
Because
it's build. Because I would
Yeah.
like to see the women matches being built
Yeah.
more as well, like we have had with the men matches.
Yeah, exactly.
With Seth and Nakamura, Seth and Finn, like all these type of opponents that we had, or Gunther with Chad Cable, Gunther with Sami, Gunther with The Miz, with Kofi Kingston, like all these type of players that I'm mentioning, we have had stories with them, even if it's at least 2 or 3 up to 4 type of weeks of storytelling. I would like with the Liv thing continue going on, even if the fight gets what's the pay-per-view at the end of the month? I think it's Clash of the Castle, I believe, is the one at the end of May, right?
Oh, it's King and Queen of the Ring.
Oh, so King of the Queen of the Ring.
that one.
If anything, we could have that match then. At least have it built up over weeks where it's just meant to be in a grander stage over them all, and that would be a great spot to have it.
Yeah, I wouldn't
I
mind
know.
that. But it's like at the same time, I would, if they want to maybe do 2 or 3 matches out of it, fine. But I feel like at the end of that feud, you have to have Liv walk away with the title only because of the Rhea story. Because at least there's a story between Liv and Becky. It's not like they're just fighting for the title just because Liv wants it. Like, Liv has every reason to go after Becky, because you look at when Liv came back in the Royal Rumble, she wanted to win that so she can get to Rhea, but she wasn't able to do that. And then you had the Women's Elimination Chamber match. She was very close. She even pinned somebody like Bianca Belair, which is something that I never expected. So that's actually a pretty big win under her belt. And she still wasn't able to win the Elimination Chamber, and Becky won that. And then after that, she just been having all of this hatred for Becky because Becky kept stealing the spotlight from her. And then they had that match at Raw where they wanted to settle their beef, and then Becky ended up winning. She ended up heading into WrestleMania. She ended up losing to Rhea. And then you have this whole story going on right now where Liv's bringing up, well, you couldn't get the job done at WrestleMania, but I did. I took her out, and I'm taking everything away from her. So at least there's layers to this story. It's not just some random feud. So I feel like if you want to have this revenge tour be something that goes worldwide, where she takes everything away, she gets her revenge from Becky after taking all of her opportunities away from her, and she takes the title. I just feel like it should be done at it should be done correctly. Like, I'm honestly not sure how they're going to structure this.
But
really.
Yeah, well, so that leads to my question is, do you give that title to Liv now, or wait just a little bit longer? Because
I'd
like
wait.
the thing with the revenge tour, it's like, the world title is is part of that. You know, it's getting that title that
I want to
Rhea
feel
had. But
earned.
like, if she's well, no, not just that. It's just if that leads into, you know, Rhea coming back. How long until Rhea's coming back? Like, do you give
Yeah, that's the
Liv
thing.
like that, like 7 month reign? Because I mean, what, Rhea's gonna be gone the rest of the year. Last I checked,
Oh, really?
I think
It hasn't been
like
confirmed. Right now,
like-
from what I know, it's been rumored that she's been gone for 2 to 8 months, but it hasn't been confirmed from what I know from actual
Yeah.
sources, like from the you know, the
Okay.
actual company or Rhea herself. It's just been like rumors saying that she's projected to be gone for 2 to 8 months is what has been sourced that they like Fightful and other people have
So-
said, but nothing confirmation fully yet from, you know,
So-
company or Rhea herself.
So one
Yeah.
thing I can say that I feel like could be the best option is maybe halfway through Rhea's recovery, they could possibly give Liv the title. Because
Yeah.
as much as I enjoy Liv, and I'm not like the biggest Liv Morgan fan, but I can appreciate what she does.
Mhm.
But I don't know how the casual audience is going to react if Liv holds the title for a long time.
Yeah,
That's
exactly,
that's the
because-
reason why they gave it to Becky, because nothing against Liv, but they trust Becky. She's a key player. She has that star power. A lot of people love her. That's why they gave her the title, because they know she knows how to use
ball,
that
yeah.
title and bring it to levels and add more depth to it and continue that reign that Rhea had left behind. So they see what Becky can do with it. There's a lot more trust there. Not saying there's not any trust with Liv, but it's just hard for me to really see, like, okay, we're gonna have the 6 to 7 month reign with Liv as champion, because
Exactly.
we are in a new era. Things could be different. But looking at how things went last time, people were happy when she won the Money in the Bank and she cashed it in to beat Ronda Rousey. But look at the reception after that. So
Yeah.
we're going to have to wait and see how things are going to be structured up to that point. That's why I'm saying maybe halfway through Rhea's recovery, we could do the match. We can give her 2 to 3 months or whatever it is. Because even though there's like a deadline where it's like 2 to 8 months, like Vash said, you never know if they might come back earlier than that. I mean, look at John Cena all those years ago when he had that injury and came back at the Royal Rumble. And even look at Punk, which we'll discuss in just a few
Yeah.
minutes. Just look at him. He's not even wearing the cast anymore, so he could be back, you never know, around Clash of the Castle. So
Exactly.
that's something that we can definitely see.
Yeah, and I mean, with Liv, again, that's kind of what I was hitting at with Drop, like somewhere in between. Like, I mean, obviously we won't know the timeline for Rhea; they'll know that, so like they'll be able to plan more and be able to, you know, make sure that Liv has a title reign that's still respectable, but something that's not gonna stick around for far too long. So kind of like, for me at least, it's like that 2 to 3 month range that I always feel comfortable with like a reign like that. So that way she at least has a couple defenses, couple big matches, and then here comes trouble. But yeah, I mean, this match with her and Nia was just, I mean, it happened. There was kind of some sloppiness at the end. Like, that Oblivion did not look too good, at least from my perspective. But a lot of it was also kind of distracted because Naomi and Tiffany Stratton were there and they were fighting.
I like
And-
that. Like, I like how the fight also had like a side quest. It seems like we definitely are gonna have a shirt in the future of the Weebs of the Ring saying the wrestlers having a side quest, because this is what it was happening with Tiffany. Like, she was just there watching Nia, but making sense because Nia was there last week, you know, effing up, you know, Tiffany match last week. So she said, all right, cool, I'm just here watching. But Nia was like, nah, not with me, bitch. You are not gonna deal with me. Nah, you're gonna fuck up my match last week, I'm gonna fuck you up just because you're here. So that's what she did. Naomi said, I'm gonna throw your ass in the ring, outside of the ring, over this shit, and I'm gonna just make it a show. And that's what it was. So that was pretty interesting. And surprisingly, the referee didn't stop the match. He just like, all right, cool. As long as the girls don't stop them, but Nia did stop them. Hey, it didn't interfere the match. I'm not gonna call it. I'm like, really? Really? You're not gonna call this one? Sure.
Yeah, they didn't do anything to the in-ring competitors, so hey, don't have to worry about that, huh? But I do like how Becky at least approached Liv like backstage. It's just like, all right, fine, you've earned it. So I mean, we are gonna get it soon. It sounds like, but again, we'll have to just kind of wait and see how we're gonna structure this, how we're gonna do this. Because again, we did get the damage control tease with Becky there, so it's like, okay, what are we gonna do? How's the road gonna go? Whatever, that's besides the point. But speaking of people that just hate each other, some revenge tour stuff going all the way back to like 2011 too, apparently. Drew McIntyre is a very peeved off Scottish boy because CM Punk got drafted before him, like a round before him or something.
Yeah, round three was CM Punk, and then round 4 was Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, like, and freaking Michael Cole has to keep mentioning the whole 5-minute long title reign. Like, my boy Drew has already gone through enough. He's already gotten screwed over at WrestleMania by CM Punk. He got screwed over by Damian Priest. Like, come on, Michael Cole. Why you gotta hit on?
Why you
man
blaming
so
Michael
hard?
Cole when he's just giving the facts? He's a journalist. He's giving the facts.
Michael Cole.
Even Booker T, when Booker T told Drew like, man, I was the world champion. Like, yeah, and where's the title? I don't see that title around your waist. Where that shit at?
Mm-hmm.
Drew was mad, walk off, and Booker like, yeah, I thought so. What's up?
I just like the whole character spiraling down that Drew McIntyre is having, because like he's blaming everything on CM Punk. Like, even this injury, he's saying, "Oh, CM Punk injured me at WrestleMania." It's just like, dude, WrestleMania was like almost a month ago, and like this injury is just coming now coming out in light. Like, come on, man, come on. It's not CM Punk's fault.
That's crazy.
You know? And I mean, Sheamus even tried to like say this last week. It's just like, you keep blaming CM Punk for everything when it's your own damn fault. It's your fault you lost at Mania. Like, you lost your title in like 5 minutes. Yep. Like, it's your fault you're injured. Like, take responsibility, dude.
By the way, we didn't mention it. Was Sheamus on Braun Breaker right there? Was Sheamus just giving that nice interaction? It was really dope. I love how Sheamus was giving the flowers to Braun Breaker, and just him saying banger after banger after banger, and then Braun was saying the last one because our boy Sheamus got distracted because of Drew walking off. And I love just Sheamus' outfit. Just adds the extra layer of his face. Like, hey fella, why you walking off? I just love that.
Well, why is
Drew walking off?
Why is Drew McIntyre walking off? Well, that's because CM Punk is in a skybox. He had some money for a good seat of the house, and Drop. He says some things to Drew that he does not like. Like, he like calls him a little bitch and all that. Like, PJ Era is done.
That's
and
why
I am
it was
excited
a
for
smart
it.
decision. I was not surprised with this of keeping Punk on Raw, because
Yep.
Punk is going to be an absolute god once Netflix.
It's gonna be
Once that
interesting.
Netflix deal happens, uncensored Punk is money. I'm sorry.
Oh no, totally.
And that's
But
just-
hopefully the kiddies can take that. But again, Drew just so obsessed with CM Punk.
Yeah, he's going room to room. He asked the fans, "Hey, what room
This is honestly going to be the feud of the year. Like, I'm calling it right now. This is going to be the feud of the year, and I can honestly see them having like 2 to 3 matches. I honestly wouldn't even be surprised if you see these two guys in a Hell in a Cell match, because you know how Triple H likes to conclude feuds that have a lot of bloodshed. Like, look at when Cody and Seth had to finish their feud in a Hell in a Cell match, and you saw the same thing with Edge and Finn when they wanted to settle the end of their feud in a Hell match, which I like. Which I like how he does that, where it's like, okay, you want to settle the beef once and for all, we're putting you in a Hell in a Cell. So I can definitely see these two just throughout the entire rest of the year, once CM Punk is officially cleared, just having numerous matches with each other. I'm just super excited once these two get in the ring and just start throwing punches at each other. It's just going to be so damn good.
Dude, I can't wait.
Once he walk out and like once CM Punk, tricked Drew McIntyre when he was not in the skybox, his song came on. Drew saw a signed magazine
autograph. It's autograph.
Yeah, it's an autograph of CM Punk.
I love
Drew
that.
was just mad. I was like, yo, that's money for whoever's gonna keep that. But Drew was just up there staring mad, angry, and CM Punk even told Pat McAfee, yo, can you time me real quick? Because I'm going to make this promo shorter than the 5 minute 46 seconds that Drew was champion. So I'm going to make this promo quick. And I think Pat McAfee said it was 2 minutes and 45 seconds, I believe it was. I think that's what.
Yeah, it was like it was sometime around like the 2 minute mark.
Yeah.
But I love how Drew's up there. Like ever since Punk made the line of like, what are you, like one like an ex-girlfriend or something? Ever since he said that line, Drew up there with his hair and all that and like a scowl, I'm just like, wow, you kind of do look like a very angry ex-girlfriend.
It reminds me of Scott Pilgrim versus the World of the ex-girlfriend that you cannot let go, but it's because you have to just fight her until like the final fight. Like, damn, can I be done with you already?
Round one.
Exactly. And when CM Punk said that once I'm 100% medically cleared, that means once I heard the line, I'm like, okay, so that must mean you must be at least 80%, because you said that once I'm 100%, like you're looking good. It must have been you must be working out. You're wearing like a nice tank top that looks like custom made, and it looks like you've been going back to the ropes. And I'm happy because he looks like he's trying to get himself in shape and better. And I'm excited for that, because if we get CM Punk versus Drew when he's in a healthy shape and ready, we're going to be cooking a nice match.
Yeah, Punk looks huge now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He looked like he put on a lot of muscle.
Yeah, like those shoulders look good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I love how he brought the classic tee back, like you mentioned.
I am too.
Like, I'm glad I actually own that shirt. That's such an iconic shirt.
Yeah.
I was hoping Drew would get mad while he's at the scout bounce, and you know how wrestlers grab the camera and will talk the shit? They've been doing that a lot in AEW. I was hoping for Drew would do something like that and like grab the camera, be like, all right, CM Punk, you wanna go talk your shit down there? So here's my shit. I'm gonna tell you. You better listen closely, because you're going to watch this while you're at home on the rerun. So here, listen. Like, I was hoping that he was going to say something like that. Show that frustration. Yeah. I was hoping that, but I guess he was too frustrated or not. Or maybe the camera didn't have the mic. I don't know. Yeah. But I was hoping we would have heard something like that. Hoping.
I kind of like how they structured it like this, because I like how you had Punk lead Drew all the way up there, only to be disappointed when he opened up that door, because that just hits a lot harder. Where you have Punk come out, he does his classic leg cross, and he's just sitting in the middle of the ring, and he's looking directly at CM Punk, and he's just telling him, just like Punk does, he just tells him as it is, being completely blunt. I just feel like having that whole segment with Punk, the way that he structured his promo against Drew, I just felt like that hit a lot harder. And then in the end, you just had him turn his back towards Drew.
I was about to mention that
you see Drew like just pissed off, the way that Punk's talking and showing Drew's body language throughout the entire thing. I just feel like that shows like better storytelling.
That body language just adds an extra detail. And even Michael Cole saying that, hey, he's turning his back against Drew, that's being very disrespectful. Like, those type of things is like a nod in acting and body language, knowing that when we're kids, our parents will tell us, like, don't point fingers, don't turn your back against somebody. It's very rude and everything. So I love how with CM Punk, he does the little small nods of things that anybody would understand, or a reference of what he did. So I love how, with Michael Cole adding the extra touches, just adding the details in case nobody pick out it. Well, Michael Cole will tell you the information so you two understand.
And like, I am glad that Drew didn't really respond back to Punk. Like, he just kind of sat there with a scowl, because Drew's one of those guys who, like, you peeve him off enough, he's not gonna talk to you anymore. He's just gonna kick your face in. So why yell at you when I'm just gonna kick your ass? Like, and man, it just makes you anticipate this fight even more. Because like that's the thing. This isn't gonna be a wrestling match. No, this is gonna be a fight. Like this might be another instance of like I don't know blood in our WWE. It could be.
Yeah.
You never know.
Especially if it's in
Never
Hell in
know
a
with-
Cell.
Oh, for sure.
Because I can definitely see these two having a Hell in a Cell match. And
Yeah.
the fact that WWE is not afraid to show blood when it matters, which makes sense. Because you don't want to show it all the time because it's just going to lose its value. So when it pops up, when it does, it just adds extra layers to the story, like how it did with Cody and Rock. And they were getting aggressive in their feud. And then what we recently saw with Tama Tonga and KO just showing, like, yeah, this is legit. This is serious. This is a storyline that we want to put a lot of love into. So I can definitely see the same thing being played out with Drew McIntyre and CM Punk, because almost in a way, it kind of feels like this is the world title match that we're getting, if you guys get what I'm trying to say. Like, it almost feels like, in a way, that Drew still has that world title, and Punk and him are just building their feud. They're taking their time with it. They're doing that long-term storytelling that Triple H loves doing, and it just the feud itself, even without a title, just feels like a world title match.
Yeah.
I just can't wait because I don't know if you guys saw the commercial of how the A&E rivals was showing the John Cena versus Batista having their rival. So I can't wait to see in A&E like 5-10 years from now. Well, no, that's too far ahead. Like 2 to 5 years from now, them showing the rival between Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk. I can't wait to see that. You know, that type of package showing the weeks and months of their rivalry, you know, building up, or, you know, with CM Punk or, you know, Drew McIntyre going to CM Punk house and, you know, try to start shit up and, you know, find AJ Lee there or something like that being involved. That would be pretty interesting as well.
Yeah. But from one story with many, many, many layers to another story that surprisingly is getting many, 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 many layers as well, which I like to dub, at least for this week, the Ballad of the Alpha Academy, because we had a few segments that really dealt with the Alpha Academy tonight and just like the overall change that the group is going through. So to start everything off, we had Chad Gable in the back making backdoor deals with R-Truth about tag title matches and something about like a 2-for-1 special. Like, I don't think he was ordering any hamburgers from McDonald's or anything, so
Definitely
I don't know
not.
what this is all about. I had one friend in a group chat actually thinking that, oh, this is going to lead to, you know, Alpha Academy losing tonight, and then immediately having another World Tag Title match
Next week.
against the Creed brothers. No, like this week. That was what the theory was in this group chat, was like, okay, Alpha Academy will just get squashed real quick, like the match will end really quick, and then R-Truth would be like, oh, hold on, we got another defense, because like the whole 2-for-1 deal or whatever that Chad had mentioned. So it's just like, oh, they're having 2 world title matches, and then, you know, Creeds win that way, and oh, heel change or whatever. But I think we're cooking a little bit more with this. But Sami just out of nowhere kicking Chad Gable, getting his lick in. How did we feel about Sami getting his lick back from Chad Gable this week?
I liked it because it shows that we're slowly building that feud with Chad and Sami Zayn, and it's also carrying on that prestige that Gunther left with the title. Like, it's not nothing matches where Sammy's just fighting random people and moving on. Like, we're actually adding more layers to the Sammy's IC title run, and you actually have a story in here where, like Gable said for the longest time, it just means more. He wanted to be the one to take down Gunther because of what Gunther did to him last fall and made his daughter cry. And then him and Sami were in the finals of that gauntlet match. Then Sami beat him, and then he trained Sami just like how he was training like Alpha Academy, and he feels like he's owed. Which actually, now that I think about it, that was kind of like foreshadowed on that WrestleMania. now that I think about it, because of how we're seeing things played out, where it's like, okay, you guys owe me. Like when he brought all of Alpha Academy in the ring last week, that's kind of like reminiscent of what we saw at WrestleMania. It's like, okay, remember after this match, you owe me that favor. And
Yeah.
he's saying the same thing to Alpha Academy. You know, you guys owe me for all the things that I do to you. So I like how there's just like rich story with this IC title match, and it just goes to show that little by little, the Alpha Academy is going to just step away from Gable, which I feel like is the best decision, because this version of Gable is probably my favorite version of Gable that we've recently seen. Like how we're talking about Drew McIntyre having the best character run in such a long time. This is definitely Chad Gable's best character run that we've seen in a long time. And I'm hoping this leads to eventually the Alpha Academy, like Otis and Taizawa, just stepping away from him because they don't want to handle Gable's abuse anymore. And then they align themselves, and then Chad aligns himself with the Creed brothers. They go heel, and you just see a dominant faction there.
I part of me wants Alpha Academy to like after the whole turn with Gable's done and the Creed brothers join up, you know, after all that's said and done, I would kind of like for Alpha Academy to go down to NXT for a bit, because I feel like the gimmick of the Alpha Academy works so much better in the environment of NXT. Plus, you could add them to a little fun little thing with Chase U.
Yeah,
since they're still in NXT. Like,
I see that vision.
Maybe. Oh my god! It writes itself, because they're all looking for a new teacher, a new leader. Oh my gosh! They could join Chase U. Yes. Oh, I want it now. Give it to me. But yeah. So this all leads into our IC title match with Sami Zayn.
Before we continue the IC title,
yes.
I see the final picks of the 2024 draft.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna suggest we could save that towards the end of closing thoughts.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
all
just
right,
so we don't get off track with going through the story. That's why I wrote it in chat.
Oh, I didn't see that copy. No
Yeah,
worries.
that's fine.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Back to Walker.
All good.
About the title.
All right. IC title is on the line as Sami Zayn takes on Bronson Reed, and I'm not gonna lie, there was a part of me, because Michael Cole, I think it was Michael Cole on commentary before the match started, was just like, if Bronson Reed were to win the title, then Sami Zayn would take his spot in the pool to be drafted. And like there was a part of so like I heard that, and I'm like, oh, there was a part of me that kind of wanted Bronson Reed just to win for tonight, just to have that wrinkle in there. But I mean, fate has other plans in store, not only for Bronson Reed, but for Sami Zayn and Chad Gable as well. But I mean, going into the match itself, I mean, we've seen these guys work before. This is as good as you would think it is. I mean, I'm glad this isn't like the David and Goliath fight we had earlier with Nia and Liv, because Bronson Reed can do just a little bit more in the ring. He can actually like kind of run a little bit more. He has his jumping tackle to the outside and all that. He has the freaking tsunami. But I mean, just as good of a match as you would think of that Sami and Bronson Reed would be pulling out. And man, that haluva, like Sami's getting really good with this haluva kick out of nowhere.
Yes, he is.
Like he is, like his timing has been on point with it.
He has been very good with it. The time has been very smooth. I like what's been going on with Sami, and is not, I don't want to call it repeated stories with wrestlers. It's new additional layers to these Bronson Reed, Chad Gable, other wrestlers that's been added, that has been going on with the IC title over the time with Sami. And Chad Gable, you are son of a bitch to come here and interrupt Bronson Reed match. I'm curious to see that if this will be added to a Backlash story or to a Backlash fight. Because I don't know what's the rundown for Backlash. I feel like not many things have been added, or if it'll be added throughout the week. So that'll be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
let's see real quick. Just look up something.
Okay.
Real quick. The only matches we do have is to Backlash France. We have Cody versus AJ for the WWE Championship. Damian J for the world title. Bailey, Naomi, and Tiffany for the Women's Championship. And
So there's 3 only.
Kabuki Warriors versus
4.
Bianca and Jade for the Women's Tag Titles. And Randy and KO versus the Bloodline.
Alright, so
That's
5
gonna be
matches
a
Right.
so
big
far.
match.
Oh yeah, so 5
Or
matches so far.
KO is coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. Okay. Good card so far. Good card. But yeah, as Vash was saying, Chad decided to come out and just ruin this match. Drop, what are we thinking about this possible 3-way for the IC title?
I don't know if I want to see that.
Me neither, but I did like Bronson
Yeah.
Reed carrying the IC
Like-
title. So that was dope that
Yeah.
he did like a tsunami.
Like,
And then he interrupted Chad, and then he took over. Like he seemed like the Godzilla, a meaty man trying to like carry over the IC title on top of this. So that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
to rephrase what I said, it's not that I don't want to see it because it would be a great match having the 3 of them together. I just feel like the story is just Sami and Gable. I just feel like
Yeah.
if you sometimes, yes, triple threats are nice to have when they make sense, but when you have like those one-on-one feuds, especially if it's personal like this one,
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like it makes a lot more sense just to have Gable and Sami.
Yeah. I'm kind of in the same boat. And like to add to it too is just like, why Bronson Reed? Like, I want Bronson Reed to succeed. I want him to do well. Why put him in a situation where
He's gonna lose.
he probably, he's gonna
He
lose.
probably would eat the pin,
And
honestly.
like this, do what?
He'd probably eat the pin because they probably want to protect Sami and Gable, especially with how they're building Gable
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, oh, you know, it'd be funny if Gable eats the pin and then he's just like, no, it means more to me, and just like adds more fuel fire. But not like again, like you said, it's crazy because Bronson Reed's probably gonna eat the pin, and I'm gonna be sad because I like Bronson Reed and I want him to succeed and do well, but stop putting him in these positions where he has to lose, or you have to like do some weird way where it's like, okay, he loses by DQ. It's like, okay, that's fine to an extent.
Yeah, like
That's
it doesn't
fine to a point.
like it doesn't help in the long run. Like him
Yeah.
losing because of Chad interrupting. Like cool, he lost, but DQ doesn't help him either in the long run.
Yeah. Yeah, like have a few things be more definitive, I guess. But I guess we'll have to wait and see with the triple threat with that. But this didn't sit well with Chad Gable because he got his butt whooped by Bronson Reed, and he kind of takes his anger out on the Alpha Academy. I mean, they're trying to warm up in the back. Maxine's getting ready for her match against Candice LeRae. We got Otis and Tozawa kind of getting ready, but like Chad's just being an ass. Like, saying, what, you want a ribbon for participation? And he tells Tozawa not to dance.
I'm like, boy, you better tell him to dance all night long. Let it be footloose.
Yeah, like, it's, let him warm up the way he wants to warm up. If he wants to do his little dance, then fine, go ahead. If he wants to eat like 10 pounds of meat like Otis, fine, go ahead. Like, come on, man, don't stop the man from doing his thing.
Hey, but you know what happened? Maxinne Dupri did an awesome job on her match. I feel like she did the aggressiveness. She did an ankle lock. She did the reverse warm caterpillar, whatever it's called. She did such an awesome job, and I just felt the aggressiveness of her taking the top of the tank top, showing the aggressiveness, and I just love that she was going ham. Could it be still for the results of the coach Chad Gable? Who knows? But I like what she did. She was aggressive against Candice LeRae, but sadly Indy Hartwell interrupted or distracted Abby now to get Maxine to lose focus, and then Candice LeRae took that advantage, sadly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it happened. The match kind of happened. At one point I did think Maxine was gonna pull off a quick victory, but then my brain kicked in and I'm like, oh wait, no, that one makes sense to what story we're trying to tell with it. And yeah, I mean,
I'm just glad
at least do what?
I'm just glad the feud's over.
Yeah, me too. Like, I mean, Maxine's looking better in the ring, but
Yes, she is.
yeah, I mean, again, move down to NXT, have some fun down there for a bit. I think that would benefit the whole group.
Women's North American titles right there.
Yep.
Maxine
Have
will
her
look great
have
on
a
it.
run with that. Yeah. But that's not the end of the Alpha Academy, because again, like I stated earlier, we had a World Tag Team title match of the Awesome Truth going against the Alpha Academy, defending their titles. Not really much of a match, because as soon as it was going to start, we went to commercial break. We come back and we have like maybe 3 minutes of action, and then the match is over.
Short
Like,
match, short-lived, and I was kind of sad about it because I like the Miz on our truth. But I like the entrances.
Yeah.
The entrances was pretty fun. They're always, bringing the hype, bringing the action, bringing the rap for what the Miz and R-Truth trying to bring the comedy of the show. Alpha Academy, y'all did what y'all did. Yeah, succeeded, even if y'all feel like y'all failed. And I'm sorry. Coach Chad Cable will not forgive ya.
Unfortunately not. I'm sorry. After Backlash, I'm ready for another team to have the titles so we can have something a little more substantial.
Hey,
But
we have...
that might just be a me
we
thing.
have interesting teams that got found drafted for Raw. That's all I'm gonna say.
We
That we're gonna
did.
talk about later.
Yeah. Well, so some more teams got added.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. You know what? I don't want to see. I'm not going to look up on any social media. I'm going to get my full reaction to everything. So blow my mind when we get to that part. But I mean, again, nothing much with that. I mean, Zawa took a big bump to the back. That was basically it.
Yeah.
Easy work for Awesome Truth, really.
Other than that,
So that.
great match. But the one that I love to talk about, my match of the night, is the one that we end the show off with.
That's right. Xavier Woods is trying to get a little bit of revenge for some of the stuff that Gunther said last week about him being just basically a paper king or whatever. So we get Xavier Woods versus Gunther, and yeah, this match was pretty good. We got a lot of time with it, a lot of work being done by Woods and Gunther. I kind of put it in here in my notes too. It's almost like Woods kind of gained a few levels, so kind of go into the whole RPG mindset of that wrestling can be sometimes. So it's almost like Woods went from level 5 to level 7 to
Yes.
face off against like Gunther's level 15 or whatever. It's like, okay, you gained a couple levels, so your stats are a little better, but the end result's still going to be the end result. Level 15 is still going to be a level 7, but this was still a really good match, especially when it got to the point where Woods' leg got stuck on the rope, and
I didn't expect that.
Gunther just oh yeah, that was a good spot with that, and Gunther just kind of laser focuses onto that leg, and it added more to the story of Xavier Woods trying to fight through all of this, trying to prove that he won the King of the Ring the King of the Ring tournament
In
for a
2021.
reason.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's pretty interesting when I heard that from Michael Cole tonight, that he was the winner of the last 2021 King of the Ring. So that means we haven't had one in 2 years. So that was pretty interesting. And also finding out that Zelina Vega was the last 2021 winner as well. So that's pretty interesting. I agree with you. Xavier Woods has been phenomenal in this match. He was giving his all. And I do see that he was showing us that he's not the side character that the audience or the people believe he is. He wants to be the main character roster, the main character up there, just like Kofi Kingston, just like Big E. Xavier Woods believe that he has what it takes, the it factor, to be up there as a mid-carder or even go for the main title in the future. So
what Xavier Woods here did with Gunther. I like that. I love that because Gunther has been pushing the New Day to show a new light, like a new type of style, and they've been hungry for it, so I love it.
Hmm.
Draw, how about you?
This match, with no surprise, is another banger because it's honestly hard for Gunther to have bad matches. Like, it's literally impossible for him to have bad matches. And I still recall that the match that Xavier and Gunther had before in the past was really good. And this match got a lot of time. I loved how these two just kept going at it. You had these different techniques being used throughout the match to see which guy could get on top. And I loved how just Gunther showed that even after losing the IC title, he's still going in strong. And I still feel like Gunther's going to be protected because they obviously see a lot in him. And they definitely need to start building him up with the next pay-per-view that we have after Backlash, because the King of the Ring is a match for him to win. It literally fits his gimmick. I would be surprised if he does not win. That whole pay-per-view is a Gunther pay-per-view.
Oh, by far. Like, he is the poster boy for King of the Ring. And
which I'm honestly hoping he's on the poster. The promo.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But man, I can't remember if we actually said it yet on the show, but I know we've said it in our DMs. But I'm just looking at the finals and I'm looking who's on the roster, and my gut, my heart, just every fiber of my being wants the finals of the King of the Ring to be Gunther and Ilya Dragunov, because you want to bring King of the Ring back in the Triple H era. Like, this might be my heart again talking from, like, WrestleMania, thinking DIY and New Cats Republic, we're going to win the tag titles. But, damn it, no, I am always going to listen to my heart all the time, 24/7, 365, the heart of the cards. I believed in them growing up. I will believe in them now. I want Gunther and Ilya Dragunov to have, like, an hour-long banger fest with both of their chests like bloody red and like both of them gasping for air, and then like give it to me. Give Triple H, give me what I want. Much like you gave Batista what he wanted, give me what I want. I need that in my soul.
I can honestly see it too. Like I'm almost confident that we might actually get it, because if you really want to bring back the King of the Ring, as you said, and you want it to make it feel important, those two guys are the perfect two to have in the finals to really go at it for like 30 to 45 minutes and just put on a classic match. Because when you put Gunther and Ilya in the ring, the magic happens. And I'm gonna watch this clip after our show is over. But Ilya even had an exclusive where he said like Ilya looks forward once again to sharing a brand with a legendary rival in Gunther. So he's already talking about when he goes up there and he's going to encounter Gunther again. So you already know he has that mindset. You already know in the back of your head that's what they're planning. It would be a mistake if they didn't have these two on the same brand.
Smart decision.
They're pretty much wrestling soulmates. Like, when you want to talk about people that are wrestling soulmates, you got The Rock and Stone Cold. You got John Cena and Randy Orton. And then you got Gunther and Ilya Dragunov. Like, those two just create magic every single time, and I can definitely see that being in the finals match for the King of the Ring.
I hope I hope Xavier Woods joins the King of the Ring again, because this show, like this match, even Kofi was hoping out for him, like, yo, I'm gonna throw in the towel for you. Even Xavier was like, no, like he was like determined. He was like, no, I'm gonna get out of this. I'm gonna push it out my way. Like, I'm gonna do the wheel of fire, the wheel of D. I'm gonna get out of this. And Kofi said, all right, cool. He threw the towel on the opposite side of the ring. So that was pretty interesting as well. But then Gunther did a counter and did the STF. He did the John Cena submission
and I love that Michael called that the original move and not the attitude adjustment. So I love that.
I do like how one of my favorite things about Gunther is just how quick he is to transition from
Yes.
one submission to another. Like it's almost seamless, you know, because he has this. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think he had like a half Boston or a Boston Crab in, and then he just immediately like thinking, okay, you're not gonna tap to this. All right, bet I'm gonna put this STF on, and then we're gonna see if you tap. And what do you know? That ended up doing the trick. Like, and it's not only just submissions; it's also like the quick moves too. Like, you know a Gunther's match is gonna end when he just pulls out like 3 big moves all in one go. Like, hits you with a clothesline, hits you with a power bomb, and then like whatever that like symphonic move was that he calls. Like he hits you with like 3 huge moves. You're done. It's over. Match done, because like Gunther is that kind of guy. He will save up 3 finishers in his 2K game to hit you all with them. Like,
Oh yeah.
He's
the
wants to
man's a
destroy
beast.
you.
yeah.
But other
But,
than that,
I mean,
I have no more
yeah.
thoughts on this Gunther match. It was good. Xavier Woods pull it out. He did an amazing job. He entertained. I had a blast. Xavier Woods was about to give in the white towel, but he said, "Nah, good."
Yeah. I mean, again, a kind of a good way to kind of like set the stage for the King of the Ring tournament. So, yeah. Now, before we get into our overall thoughts on Raw, we have some draft finishes. So, lay it on me, gentlemen. Who is on Raw and who's on SmackDown now? Who did we finish off with everything?
Drop. What do you want to take turns for this one? You just for the fun of it.
Yeah, so what I'll do Raw, you could do SmackDown.
Let's go.
So for Raw, we have the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile staying, which makes sense, especially when we've been theorizing that Gable's going to create a faction with them. And now that I think about it, he does have 3 people that he could replace Maxine and Taizawa and Otis with, because you got the Creed brothers to replace Otis and Taizawa, and then you got Ivy Nile to replace Maxine. So that'd be pretty interesting to see them go down that direction. And then we also have the New Catch Republic coming to Raw, which I feel like is a fair trade, because if you're going to bring DIY to SmackDown, then it makes sense to bring New Catch Republic to Raw. So I really do like that move.
But now we're not going to get them facing each other. Oh.
Yeah, I was
which is a bummer.
Once I saw that,
But I
was
feel
like,
that's the bummer, but
but I feel like if they want to create some sort of balance, and we did say that Raw's looking to be the wrestling show.
Yeah, so
true. Yeah,
it definitely makes sense.
And you have a 3-hour show for them, so to mix a magic, I'm all for it. For SmackDown, I refers to the SmackDown select Vinci going to SmackDown, not from Imperium. He goes on by himself. And then SmackDown also selects on one of the final rounds is Tegan Knox goes to SmackDown.
Oh, so she's separated from Natalia. Okay, good.
So she's by herself.
Yes.
Thank the Lord.
And for Drop, who is for Raw next?
So what we have for like the final 4 for Raw is we have Dijak coming to Raw, which is awesome because there's a lot of matches you can get out of that. Dijak and Sheamus, Dijak and Ilya again, Dijak and Drew McIntyre, Dijak and CM Punk, Dijak and Seth Rollins, Dijak and Bronson Reed, Sami Zayn, Chad Gable, the list goes on and on.
Yeah.
And then we also have KC2 staying on Raw, which makes sense. Hopefully within the conclusion of the draft on Monday, we get a proper push with them because they're a legitimate tag team.
Yes, hope so.
Yeah.
We have Natalia staying on Raw, which I was honestly expecting her to go on NXT to help build up talent. And then
she probably still can. So
yeah, that's true.
But, yeah.
And then the last one we had, which hasn't been shown on Raw since he got drafted last year, is Odyssey Jones.
He's still getting announced.
Odyssey Jones.
And for SmackDown selects Apollo Crews gets drafted to SmackDown.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. All right. Fine. Those picks, a lot of those make sense. A lot of those are good. I'm down with a lot of those.
Will Vinci go to SmackDown? I like that. I'm curious to see if he's going to be an alone force or if he's going to build with a new dynamic squad. So it's going to be interesting. With Tegan Nox, I'm happy for her. I want to see what she evolves. And again, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but for God's sake, make this mid-card title for both Raw and SmackDown for the women's title. Please don't make them a U.S. women's title and a intercontinental women's title. Just make them unique or something, or at least be creative. Because I'm happy for Tegan Nox to be there. And Apollo Crews, fucking use him. Like, he is a good wrestler. He has good potential. Please use him at least in the mid-card title, at least for US title, or at least something in that story. Hopefully in the down the line.
Okay. Yeah. I got nothing else. So I mean, raw overall. I mean, I thought the night was good. I thought it flowed very nicely. Kind of did speed up a little bit, especially in the second half of Raw. And I'm happy with some of the picks. I'm intrigued with how we're gonna go down certain roads, certain directions, and all that with storylines and characters and everything. But yeah, I mean, I was quite pleased. Again, the 3 hours just kind of blew by. I'm like, I think it was like last week or the week before, it just kind of dragged a bit. But
Yeah. It
I
really
was
did.
I was happy with this Monday.
I
Same.
see that vision. For me as well, it flew by. I was having a good time watching Raw, see how the story progressed, and see how the draft continues. People could be upset that some people stay the same brand. I'm like, motherfuckers, these are managers executing their decision of who they want to keep. I love seeing Stephanie McMahon coming out, Teddy Long coming out. We saw these great Hall of Famers and the opportunities being there. We saw the Dudley being there as well, having their moments. Great show with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre's story being progressed, seeing the rival story continue. I love how Triple H is continuing the little small seeds of wrestlers being involved and out there. Shinsuke Nakamura, please do not have a fucking feud with Cody Rhodes again for the title, because back then it was just a random a random feud going on. The whole month of December and a bit of November, so it's like, please do not repeat this shit. Other than that, I really had a good time with Xavier Woods versus Gunther. That is my match of the night. I don't have anything against Awesome Truth right now being the title champions of the tag title champion like Watkins do. I like my little R-Truth and Awesome Truth going on around with their music and their banter and those fun little segments. Chad Gable, grow up, man. You're the problem. Just like Drew McIntyre. Grab your balls. They're stuck up your ass right now. That's it.
Yeah. My thoughts overall, I thought it was a solid show. I'm just mainly looking forward to seeing how the draft is going to unfold next week, and I'm really excited, especially for Raw, with all of these people we got, like Gunther. We have Gunther staying. We got Damage Control, CM Punk, Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, LWO, Judgment Day, Ilya Dragunov, New Day, Lyra, Final Testament, Bronson Reed, Dijak. I'm just really interested to see how all of those names that I mentioned is going to flow. I mean, having Lyra there is going to do wonders for that women's division. Having Damage Control, so having 4 ladies come over to SmackDown and Raw is doing wonders for the women's division. Having Gunther come in contact with people like Dijak and Ilya,
and plus Blair Davenport is well going to SmackDown, and she's the only superstar that also could transfer from NXT, only going to SmackDown as well. I just noticed.
Yeah, so I'm just very happy overall just to see how things are going to be shaped up once the draft is fully locked next Monday. That's my main thought process with that.
The month of May will be very
Yeah.
interesting how everything develops and concludes from the draft. I'm really curious to see if we're going to see any last minute touches, and because this time around we haven't had any free agents, so I'm very curious to see how this time is going to be, because we also haven't heard anything about Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns took out his own submission. We haven't heard anything about Jimmy Uso, if I remember correctly. So all those things would be very curious to see how they go in the next coming weeks.
I feel like with like the people that are out on injury, they'll just be put on a show when they're back, and we'll find out from there. Because I feel like that's more of like a storyline kind of thing. Except for people like maybe your Seth Rollins, like he'll probably be on Raw. Let's be honest. with him and Becky married with a kid. Yeah, let's keep them both on Raw.
Yeah, that's why you got Candice and Johnny on Smackdown together. They normally keep the couples together, so when you see those people drafted, it's not a surprise. But what I am expecting next week, starting on Monday, I do expect the tournament for King of the Ring to start, like the qualifiers in order to be in the match. I do expect that to start on Monday and Friday and to build throughout the end of the month. That's definitely going to be put into motion right away.
I really hope it is.
Yeah, this is my first time experiencing King of the Ring since years ago. So I'm excited for this because I missed King of the Ring over the past 10 years, if there have been any or how many there has been. I haven't seen any since I stopped watching pro wrestling back in 2014 or late 2016 around there. So I haven't seen any King of the Ring type of matches, anything since then. So Xavier was Dylan and Vega or anything happened in 2020 or before that, I have missed any. So this will be my first time experiencing King of the Ring. So this will be very fun.
Well, not only that, this is going to be the first Triple H run King of the Ring.
It'll actually feel like King of the Ring.
Yeah, like, because that's the thing. Like, I mean, we had a couple decent matches from the last King of the Ring tournaments, but the only one I remember happening was the final, which was Xavier Woods versus Finn Balor. And I think the women's one was, well, back then she was known as Dewdrop, but Piper Niven versus Zelina Vega. So, well, we'll have to wait and see how Triple H handles these two King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring tournaments. But Vash, I want you to let all the lovely people in the chat who have joined us for this whole time, let them know exactly where they can find their favorite Weebs of the Ring on any of our socials and mumbo jumbo.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, boys and girls, and of all people that identify however you want to identify, you can find us on Weebs of the Ring, hashtag, and at AniMa W3 Studio, at everyone on social media, at Legendary Vash, like my co-host, drop this box, and down below is Walk-ins with MW at the end. Definitely hit us up, find us out. The Discord is being updated, the website is being in progress, many things are being in the works and behind the scenes, so we appreciate all the support. The Anime Podcast episode 145 is being dropped this Thursday. Well, sorry, it is being dropped. It's already uploaded. It will be premiered by tomorrow or Wednesday morning for you get the notification, so definitely stay tuned for that. Very exciting content is coming in the works. We have definitely interesting projects coming, so we appreciate all support on all the social media platforms, on TikTok, IG, Twitter /X, and the YouTube shorts of all the stuff we've been posting. And we appreciate all the support of the Weebs of the Ring podcast. Definitely. Thank you very much, guys.
Yes. So, yes, thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to listen to the Weebs of the Ring podcast. If you enjoyed what we had to say, why not do exactly what Vash just said? We are known as AniMa W3 Studio on all social media platforms. Just remember, that's we with a 3. Also, use the hashtag Weebs of the Ring to interact with us about anything regarding wrestling before, during, or after our shows. Feedback is always appreciated, as we are nothing without you tuning in, and we love to strive to be better than we were yesterday. Weebs of the Ring is presented by AniMa W3 Studio, thanks to our production team of Vash, Walk-ins, Drop This Box, Rome with a Dot, and Jokester, as well as special thanks to JB and Abe. Thank you for joining us, and remember, no stunt grannies were harmed in the recording of this podcast. Have a good night, everybody.
The Mad Dragon.